question from Rob, who said he is a lower belt and he's looking to get some advice when he rolls against people that fold up. So basically the story was he was rolling against some guys a little bit higher belt than them, a little bit higher rank and experience than him, and when he was rolling with them, you know, he would try to pass their guard and their knees would basically fold back to their head, and they were very comfortable being there, and they were able to be very, you know, aggressive, and they could actually attack from the position. And so I wanted to take my buddy Gary here, who Gary's very flexible. He's a big guy, but he's super flexible, and he's very comfortable being in this kind of position. And I'll show you what it looks like in a second. And I'm going to show you guys how to deal with this situation, and hopefully it helps you, Rob. And I appreciate your question. The position that Rob, he sent me a picture of it. What he was talking about is when someone gets like this, and they're very comfortable. Like Gary, like a lot of times it's interesting. As I push, you can almost feel when people's muscles are tight. Like if I was to do this to myself, I don't feel comfortable here, and I would instantly feel some like tightness in the muscle. Gary, very relaxed, no problem. And when I get into this kind of position with Gary, he's very comfortable playing from here. So I'm going to show you what I usually do against guys like this. So when I go for the double under, this is what I'm going to go for, by the way, Rob. I'm going to go for a basic, you know, double under pass, you know, the pass you've probably done as a white belt, and I'm going to get that clamp on the leg. A lot of times guys are kind of comfortable here and they'll fight through this position and they'll do a ton of different things to break it. The traditional double under pass where, you know, you stack them up here and you start putting pressure doesn't really work very well because they don't have a lot of tension on the muscles. So I'm going to give you two different options to play from. First one is one that I actually used recently in a competition against a guy who's very comfortable here. I've got the gable grip on the double under. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do it very quickly. So most of the time you do the double under pass and you take your time and really smash them down. This one's gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna get here on my toes and I'm gonna turn, but at the same time I'm holding the grips in my gable grip together from here. Now, if I can walk up his body, that's great. One of the things that you'll notice, there's kind of a sort of a style with guys like this. They're very comfortable with the turtle. And so with that, a lot of times if he does do this, he can come up and I can shoot in for my little truck back attack here. I'll post a link down below on how you can do that, but that'll get you past the legs. So let's take a look at it from the backside here. And instead of slowly doing it, I'm going to turn hard, but the whole time my hands are still gripping. Now, again, if he doesn't block and I just go to side control, fantastic. But if he starts to go for turtle, you loosen up a little bit, trail with them, and then I can shoot right back in and start to work for that turtle position or the truck position, or I can actually take the back by a roll. Now, one more that I'll give you real quick is that if you get a guy that's very comfortable being on his back, I tend to do this one more in the no-gi, or excuse me, gi that I do no-gi. But one of the things you can do instead of just stacking here is you can pull the person up and you want to work them up to get them up on their shoulders like this. Now you can do this a number of different ways. If it's in the gi, I'll literally grab some of their gi and pull them up. If it's no-gi, once I'm here, I'll use my knee to bring them up and stack them up. I can use this hand if I want to, and basically use my leg like a kickstand so they're up on their neck. This isn't as comfortable. Now as I start to apply pressure, he wants to go and I can start to pass, right? That's way different. So you can think about it this way. One is to simply cut the angle really quickly. The second one is lay on your back here, Gary, is when we're here, you can put pressure on the back here like this, no big deal. But if you start to stack them up, either using your hand or using your knee to inch him up and get him back here on his neck, then they don't want to be there. Most guys are not comfortable doing that. So what I would sort of tell you is, if you got a guy that's comfortable being on his back like that, look for the double underpass. You can either look for that quick shuck, using that grip there to hang on to it and take the back. That's my personal favorite. But I will use, especially in the gi, I'll use it when I stack him up on his neck. I have one of my students, Babone, who does it really, really well. If he gets me in that position, he's like 150 pounds. I can't touch him. Like, it's so bad. Like, you're just stuck on your neck. And so if you get a guy like that and he's comfortable being there, if you don't want to do the quick shuck, like I'm doing, you can work on bringing him up and getting them stacked up onto their neck and then passing, essentially like this, the regular old double under, and that'll be a stronger option for you, especially if they're flexible. So, Rob, thanks for the question, brother. Hopefully that helps you out, and I'll talk to you guys next time.